Welcome to your doom.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Robert De Niro, 79, is having another kid, and then Al Pacino, 83, is having another kid. Dude, 80 is not the new fucking 40. It's like, at some point, this is elder abuse, because she couldn't be on top. I'm being serious, like, because I was trying to think of, like, that would have to be him just sitting back in his recliner, her milking him or something.
That's what it is.
No, I'm being serious. Like, it's like, I don't really understand, like, because I just put myself through the scenario in third person. I wasn't.
Dude, she's gonna be changing
diapers
diapers
him
anyways.
Or her, okay? But like, I was just like, man, like, she'd break a hip.
What's one more diaper to change?
I mean, dude, I'm just saying, like our president just literally today ate shit again at the U.S. Air Force graduation thing. Like, he cannot fucking stand, and he's younger. Isn't he younger than Al Pacino? Yeah. And Al Pacino just fucking hooah, getting it in. He's like, because you got your head all the way up.
Dude, I think he bravely, spryly jumped out of the way of a bullet. That's how we're gonna spin it. Yeah, Biden. He hit the deck. He tucked and rolled. No one, cat-like reflexes, saw the bullet coming. Yeah. This is the president. He's going again. Don't fall for it again.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He really fell for it.
I always think of Delta. Delta has a rule: you can't fly a plane after like 65.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
So maybe you shouldn't have the nuclear codes after 65.
And a big shiny red button in front of
you got to shake them awake with a glass of milk and really get them going.
Yeah,
Anyways, welcome to Non-Essentials Podcast. This is episode 116. We're starting off hot with Biden's new campaign of Hit the Deck.
Who are you?
Yeah. Oh, my name is Jake. Probably I'll vote for him, Bussy.
I'm Adam Tuck and Roll Riley.
Yeah.
Dude, no, honestly, I have to say, with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, whatever, but I just gotta say, I feel like it's kind of mean.
To who?
To the kid. It's like, hey.
No, it's fine. Dude, he gets to watch his dad in movies.
Fair enough. I'm just saying, it's like he doesn't really get to ever know his dad.
Dude, De Niro probably came home from The Irishman with the young makeup on and fucked her. Just like, I hated that movie.
You think that also was 3 hours long?
Oh yeah, it was too long.
Oh my god.
No, I hated that movie because it was like he looked younger, but he moved old. They had a move where he tried to go this way. He basically Joe Biden that way. He shuffled a little bit, and the guy missed with the bullet. Exactly what happened to Joe Biden.
Oh man. Okay. Well. Okay. I'm gonna jump.
I was saying, on top of that, it's not like he's gonna have to raise that kid. He's fine.
Oh yeah, that's why he's doing it.
Yeah. He's like whatever.
Your problem.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So anyway, so I got a fun fact for you. We've mentioned on the podcast in the past, and say it out loud, audience. Where's the world's largest desert? Do you know?
I know.
No, it's not Africa. Everyone always says the Sahara or Death Valley or something like that. Jake knows.
Oh, it's Antarctica.
Yep.
Antarctica. Fact checker Tony finally stepped up. Because it's based off of precipitation, right? And then now, do you know where the world's largest waterfall is?
Is it Victoria Falls in Africa?
That Angel
giant
Falls or
one.
something?
Angel's the tallest one.
Okay,
That's where they went up.
I'll give you a hint. It's similar to the concept of the tallest mountain on Earth. And if you remember, we talked about that on a previous podcast.
I don't remember any of this.
Okay.
I am Joe Biden.
So what's the tallest mountain? What's the tallest mountain?
Mount Everest.
Most people say Mount Everest.
God damn it.
That is the highest altitude-wise. But the tallest mountain is Mauna Kea. We talked about this, I think, a year or two ago, because over half of it is underwater. Right? Now, Everest, like I said, Everest is the highest. Now, with that being said, the world's largest waterfall is actually almost 2 miles high, and it's underwater.
I hate this.
No, I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really interesting. It's a fun fact. I thought that people could bring this up and get panties wet or whatever. So, with that being said,
how is it? Well,
so
you're gonna explain.
I'm gonna explain. So think of Greenland and Iceland, right?
Okay.
Iceland's the tiny little.
Iceland's the green one. Green one's the ice one.
Yeah. That's the Nordic joke, right?
Yeah.
So now there's in between those two is the Denmark Strait.
Okay.
And so
not this month.
Okay. Happy Pride Month, guys. So with that being said, so on one side of the Denmark Strait is the Nordic Sea, and then on the other side is the Erminger Sea. right?
Okay.
Now, the cold water from the Nordic Sea is denser than the Erminger warm water. So it basically literally just plummets 2 miles
Interesting.
deep underwater, right? And I thought, and I was like, okay, like what is the actual numbers here? So I decided to look that up for you. You're welcome. So to put things into perspective, the largest waterfall on land is just over 3,200 feet. This one that I'm talking about in the Denmark Strait is 11,500 feet. I know, right? So there you go.
Waiting for you to tie this into like the Little Mermaid that just opened.
Man, that'd be funny.
Nothing.
Yeah.
They're like, brought to you by Disney. Little Mermaid open in theaters.
Well, we could actually say brought to you by the Comedy Club here in Janesville, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
So,
hold your hands up. You'll hold it.
there we go. So
for YouTube listeners,
you can buy your tickets
see...
at cabinlaughs.com. So this episode is sponsored by Nathan at the Comedy Club, Comedy Cabin in Janesville, Wisconsin. So thank you very much. Hey, there we go. And the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
I wish I knew like what. Oh, Under the Sea. That's the one. I was like, I know one. Come on, childhood.
Can I say, I think I forgot which movie. Oh, it was Guardians of the Galaxy. It had Little Mermaid preview, and my daughter's like 9, and it showed Ariel swimming, and she just goes, Ariel's black, and I'm just like, you are canceled. Like she got kicked out of school, and no, it was just like a child observation.
Yeah,
to where it's just like
I don't think she put stank on it. She probably just
no, it was just.
Okay,
an observation.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny that like if I said that same thing, people would be like, well, clearly he's an asshole for pointing it out. And it's just, I don't know.
Noticing of it.
No, I was actually like I haven't gone yet, but like I heard it was good. I think it's funny the whole motivation for the Little Mermaid was basically shut up and find a husband. Like, I'm interested to see how they're gonna navigate those waters.
I actually heard that I heard I was listening to NPR and they're talking about it, but I guess it's like an hour longer than the original.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a real. In fact, they're even saying they're like, don't bring your restless children to this because they're gonna hate it. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I guess it's like you need to pause it,
sure,
because to get the wiggles out.
Actually, like since we're over there in Europe, I guess with this waterfall, did you see the recent winner of? You guys know the cheese race? Have you seen?
Is that where they go down the hill with the cheese wheel?
It's where they go down the hill.
Okay.
And basically, it's I got the where is it? It is.
Yeah, that looks like a blown out knee.
Cooper's they pinwheel down. It's Cooper's Hill near I am not gonna be able to say this, Gloucester in southwest England.
Gloucester.
But can you there's a new champion. It's 19-year-old. I got it here. She's from Canada. Delaney Irving of every place here is
Smith
awful.
Or Jones.
Yeah. She's from somewhere in British Columbia. She won the women's race despite at the end, and I'm going to put it up for YouTube listeners here, briefly being knocked unconscious. Because she 100% pinwheeled and at the last second flopped and just like dead slid across the finish line.
Okay, so since you're saying this, it's literally you just jogged my memory, and I had to look this up really quick. Now, I came across this the other day, and I guess it'll key in. Do you know who Frank Hayes is? No, you don't.
No.
So he's a jockey, and on June 4th, 1923, jockey Frank Hayes won the Belmont Parks steeplechase on the horse. The horse's name is Sweet Kiss. After suffering a fatal heart attack during the race, his dead corpse was still on the horse, and he's the only person to have ever won a horse race while he's dead.
That's not fair, because technically that horse was 7 grams less, or however much the soul weighs.
Yeah. No, I got told that it's funny. Did you know that? I guess I
just remember the movie 7 grams.
Well, I knew that. That's with the jellyfish or something, right?
I don't remember. I just remember they tried to weigh in a soul.
Anyway, so with that being said, but no, I guess. Like I heard that like jockeys all have to weigh the same. So like no matter what, like let's say they all have to weigh 125 pounds, right?
Oh, okay.
And but like let's say you got a 115-pound jockey, then they literally put like 10 pounds of weight on him.
Could you piss yourself as the horse goes?
Do you have 10 pounds of piss on you?
No, I'm saying it's like
if you do,
could you like you like offload a little extra weight? I don't think
like
the horse
shit?
will mind. Yeah.
Well, I heard that you're supposed to look to see which horse or dog shits, and then you bet on them. but I never said about jockeys.
For what it's worth, I actually remember doing that at the Lake Geneva dog
Shitty?
track. No.
Oh.
My grandpa would take us there because I think he thought God would let kids win if they picked, and so he'd let us pick, and if we won, we get like $5 out of the 200 we won. But I remember we used to go up there, and he'd be like, "Let me know any dog that pees before the race," and we would always bet that dog. It never really panned out, but I just remember it was a really great memory with my grandpa.
About dogs peeing?
No, about gambling and addiction.
Yeah.
Dude, and leveraging God with children.
I can't remember the name of the show, but it was something on like Adult Swim, but it had like a little kid. He'd go around like interviewing people, but it was like just saying very, very crass things. And this
Is that about the Man Show Child?
No, it was something like I remember the name of the thing was Kids on the Beat. Kids on the Beat, and goes, beat kids.
I do know what you're talking about.
Anyway,
Yeah.
But it goes, it's like a little kid in a trench coat. He's interviewing people, and he's like next to this old man at a horse race or whatever. He goes, "Do you want me to do an impression of you?" And the old man's like, "Sure, you can do an impression of you." He goes, "Okay." He goes, "Gamble, gamble, gamble, die."
Kid nailed it. Oh man,
what do you got?
Well, actually, I had a story here about there was a video I had seen where basically like, what's the number one fear on an airplane? This was besides crashing and dying and all that. But do you know the emergency exit door? Well, someone found out that thing works in China this past week.
You can open it mid-flight?
It's not mid-flight.
You can just pop the window.
Yeah, it's not mid-flight, but basically.
I remember like 2 years ago or something like that. There was this one guy. He was a stewardess or whatever, and he popped it, and then the inflatable raft went down. He grabbed the wine bottle or whatever champagne bottle, slid down, and was like, "I'm out."
That's how you quit.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Happy June 1st.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, because I remember he's like, "I want to go see my boyfriend" or something like that.
Well, we all feel that way on planes.
Yeah.
But so as the plane was about to take off, a Chinese passenger pulled the emergency exit because, and this is a quote.
It wasn't in the air though.
No, it wasn't in the air yet. It was it was like on the runway. And I brought this is the benefit of having kids. You find these artifacts around the house. I'm like, I'm 100% wearing these.
Dude, I look like the Reading Rainbow guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Not quite, but something off about.
What's it? Is it not Star Trek?
Star Trek, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the plane was about to take off, and I actually think China was kind of forgiving here because all was forgiven for this passenger because apparently it was his first time flying, and he was clearly having an anxiety attack, and there was the plane even took off on time, and then they offered to they moved him to a different thing and
explained.
So you
can literally say, "Sorry, it's my first time."
Exactly.
On a plane?
Yeah. Like, listen, when you say China, I don't think of the most forgiving place.
Yeah,
So I remember this quick story on a plane. The first time we took the kids on a plane, there were I think 3 and 5, and Lindsay and I had this great plan to program them to not be scared. And so right when the plane took off, you need to be nervous. They'd look at you. So the plane's taking off, and they look over at me, and I'm playing my part. I'm like, "Isn't this fun? This is fun. We're having a great time. Don't look at Mom. We're having a great time." Flash to Lindsay, who's trying to do the same thing, but all she's doing is leaning back and death gripping the handles.
Just white knuckle.
This is such a fun time. I had forgotten that she hates flying. I had to keep her distracted the entire flight.
And it's weird too because you can literally. I mean I've been flying my entire life, and so and there's no part of me that's like I can't wait to get on the plane. Most of it's like this is a pain in the ass I have to do, right?
Sure.
But
I think it's magical.
But I would tell you it's way more dangerous to drive to work. You know, it's way more dangerous.
I always think of that, but then I'm driving to work, and I'm like, that doesn't make driving to work safe.
Yeah,
it's
fair enough.
That means I drive shittily.
Yeah,
so that still makes the plane a little iffy.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so now I have to say this. You know that there are certain genres of consenting adults that I just cannot.
I thought you were gonna say consent. I'm like,
of
consenting say a bit
adults,
more.
Of consenting adults, right? There are just certain genres that I just cannot wrap my brain around. And I'm not talking about soccer fans, okay? And
is this a June thing?
It is not a June thing. Relax. I guess maybe.
Okay,
so
go
anyway,
into it.
I'm gonna literally. I have to just read this. I thought about making it a catfish because this is breaking.
Okay.
Breaking today. And I'm just gonna I'm sorry. I just gotta read the title of the article.
Before you read, thank listener L for
Yes,
supplying us with the rocket fuel for this
I know,
episode.
yeah, thank you. I'm on literally my second glass. We're 4 minutes into this podcast. So, Man admits freezing leg of alleged eunuch maker who is accused of broadcasting live castrations.
I don't even really understand what you just said.
I know.
You say it again, please?
I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to say it. I could say it 3 more times.
Okay.
You're still not going to get it. So, man admits freezing leg of alleged eunuch maker who was accused of broadcasting live castrations.
It's a Dr. Seuss book.
Oh, the places you'll go?
Okay. All right.
Okay. So, I literally, my brain didn't work because I was like, these are too many things.
Yeah.
Too many weird things. I thought about making a catfish, but I wasn't sure if you saw it or not. So,
I don't think I would have picked that one. But.
So, an alleged member of an extreme body modification group has admitted freezing the leg of a man who's accused of carrying out castrations and broadcasting the footage of his eunuch maker website. Jacob Krim, go ahead.
So they froze it against his wishes?
Yeah.
Like they held him down and snow pierced him?
Go into, yeah. That's a great movie, by the way.
Yeah, is it?
Watch Snowpiercer if you haven't seen it. So Jacob Crimi Appleby, 22, pled guilty on Wednesday to causing grievous bodily harm to Marius Gustafson.
All these people have fancy hats. Like, what the fuck
this
are
is
these
over
names?
This is over in Europe.
Oh, okay.
Who needed to have his leg amputated. The procedure was allegedly filmed and uploaded to Gustafson's eunuch maker website, which subscribers would pay to watch. Think of
eunuch maker. That's removing a balls maker. He's a eunuch maker. Okay.
Think of it like this, and this is your don't stop at Google, guys.
Write this down, look it up
But
later.
there was, you already know it, but do you remember Pain Olympics?
Yes. Dude, there's a
remember
couple
Pain Olympics?
videos are haunting us all.
Yeah. There are just a couple where it's just like that, just popping the balls out of the scrotum that he fucking takes a hatchet to. And you're just like, well, there goes that, So and it's like, but I'm assuming it's something similar to like that, where it's like just extreme shit, right? So anyway, so the charges related to the alleged clamping and the charges related to the alleged clamping and splitting of genitals of men. Okay, on this for the eunuch maker.
Sure.
2 more men previously admitted to removing other body parts to Gustafson. Nathan Arnold, 48, admitted to partial removal of his nipple. And then Damian Burns, 35, admitted to removing the man's penis.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the defendants are said that they have been part of a society in which people willingly undergo extreme body modifications. The practice is linked to subculture in which men are called nullos, which is short for genital nullification, by having their penis and testicles removed.
Dude, we could offer this. We could have abused women, get a little bit of therapy by helping.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll offer it for half off.
I mean, that's that's honestly my suggestion for pedophiles. Is whoop. Yeah. So, but anyway, so Judge Mark said a further plea and case management hearing for June 30th. So honestly, we're gonna keep you updated with this because this is fucking bananas. It's so new that there aren't as many pictures as I was hoping for, and I was looking for the gross shit. Come on, but yeah. It's like,
why freeze it? That's what I'm confused by.
I don't know. I don't know how they did it.
Did he choose? It's like, ooh, what's the freezing option?
I mean, they literally cut his nipple and dick off and froze his leg off. I don't know how they did it. So
it's interesting. That's horrific.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Actually, moving along, I didn't have this written down, but I had a client tell me a hell of a story. A little bit of it this weekend. So she is a 911 operator. Right. And so I asked them, hey, what's the weirdest call you've ever had? And she told me, and I believe her, too. That's one of these, I don't think she was just making it up for fun. Yeah. If she did, she's very creative. But so she gets a call. She gets a call from a lady in the hospital. She's like, I'm in the hospital right now.
Oh, he did.
I need to send an ambulance for my son. And they're like, okay, can you explain a little more? It's like, well, my son called me, and apparently, since I'm in the hospital, and he was alone, he took it. He went into my drawer, and apparently
took it upon himself to take it upon himself.
He got her dildo stuck up his ass, and he needs an ambulance. And I had so many questions because I'm just like, I would move heaven and earth. The last person
at least your bowels.
That gets to find out.
I would move my bowels before anything.
I'm just saying, it's like the last person that gets to find out is mother. I would use my phone. I would go to a different hospital in a different state. Yeah.
For an exorcism?
Yeah.
I need a young priest and an old priest.
Yeah, so she said that basically
get this dildo, my mother's dildo out of my ass.
Yeah, they just send, and this almost turned into a game of name something you would touch before your mother's dildo. It's almost everything.
Oh my God.
Almost, I would touch my dad's dildo before my mother's dildo.
If my elbow accidentally rolled across my mother's sex toy, I would put myself up for adoption.
Yeah.
So I didn't, just so I didn't have to like imagine that was my mom.
I was thinking like serial killer list. What is it? Mutilating animals. No empathy.
TBI,
gotta be using
TBI.
using your mom's dildos. Gotta be on that list too.
Well, it's just really weird. And on top of that, it's like,
haha, she's not here to stop me.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. It had to been like a power, like not to be weird, but probably it had to be like a power thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably find about anything to put up there.
Right.
Right. Like
it also made me wonder, like, how big was this thing that he was incapacitated?
Well, I think you got to have a lanyard. You got to have a pull string on it because those things can just like shloop right up in there.
I don't know.
That's my favorite onomatopoeia.
Shloop.
Shloop.
Yeah.
It goes with everything, including mother's
dildos. Is it a
dildos.
TLC song?
No, that's.
I think that's what they were saying.
Yeah. And Schloops. Yeah. He kept it on the down low. Okay, so since we just said Snowpiercer on a whim, okay, as far as a recommendation, right, which is a great movie. It's got Captain America in it, right? But I did have another recommendation for you, and it's a prank show called Revengineers.
Okay,
I
like the name.
Yeah, I like wordplay.
Yeah.
But the reason why, and I guess it's a pretty new show, and they're just coming out, and I only saw trailers, but I'm like, probably gonna like it.
Sure.
But it's with your boy Mark Rober.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's actually called Mark Rober's Revengineers.
Okay, so this is gonna be kind of like In Good Fun.
In good fun,
Yeah,
but it's
okay,
so the ones that I saw, like they were like for people that leave the toilet seat up, right? This girl's like, well, I made this. So like if you leave the toilet seat up, it locks the door, it keeps you in your own filth, she said. But the funnier one I thought was they had remote controlled shopping carts. Because I think honestly, if you can't return your shopping cart to Cart Corral, you're a piece of shit. And so the people that literally do that, they will they had a remote controlled shopping cart. It was like just driving up behind their vehicle, so that they get out and then like they try to push it, but they go a little bit further. Then they try to grab it, they push it away, they come back to them. The guy's like, "What the fuck is happening?"
I would take that shopping cart home. I got a haunted shopping cart. So I can sell this thing.
So anyway, so I guess stay tuned for that. It's going to be called Mark Rober's Revengineers.
Sure.
And I think it's going to be pretty exciting. It's going to because Jake has talked about Mark Rober in the past. He's a guy, if you don't recognize the name, you'd at least recognize like the viral videos where he's the one that puts those glitter bombs out on like porches to like detract or to I guess lure in porch pirates, and then like it just like it kicks out the
like
all the glitter and then does like fart spray. Yeah. He's also the one that set up that like gladiators, American gladiators, like with squirrels.
There was another great one he did. It was with another YouTuber. I'm forgetting the name, but basically they scammed a scammer place in India. It was a big elaborate thing. Good. It had like undercover like employees, and they sent like a machine that just kicked out thousands of roaches into the. And actually, they did monitor it, where basically the people in charge of the thing that they know is a scam, they shut down the operations for. They did the math behind it, but they thought it might save I thought it was like $10 million worth of like elderly people not getting ripped off. Because it's like, the thing is, everyone that's super proud, like, those things are so stupid, how people fall for it. Stupid people fall for it. And that's who they're aiming for. So,
well, something that we talked about, it probably was like maybe literally probably 2 or 3 years ago on the podcast. But I remember how you look at these, and I didn't know that this was a tactic. And I'm going off the cuff here, but do you remember when, you get those emails and then you're like, what the fuck is this? There's like 3 typos in it. This is grammatically awful, right? Like, who would ever respond to this? That is actually a tactic. And the tactic is if you're dumb enough to fall for this email, who's definitely a fake email, you're probably gonna give them your credit card number too, and so what I was like, oh shit, it's an attrition thing.
Smart filter.
It's actually a smart filter
because you're not gonna fall for the next step. And they only have limited resource of tricking people. And if they got everybody, they'd be like, oh, this is a scam. Click, this is a scam. So they're narrowing it to the person that's like, yeah, that's spelled right. So I guess with that being said, if
if you're tired of getting scammed by the U.S. government, you can. And if you're tired, here we go. Yeah, you like this? Yeah. So, are you tired of all the paperwork that comes with running a small business?
Am I?
Headaches from hundreds of new tax laws? Well, let Jensen Accounting be your Tylenol. Find them on Facebook by searching Jensen Accounting and Consulting. Again, that is Facebook at Jensen Accounting and Consulting. Just a quick jog from Rogan Shoes in Janesville, Wisconsin.
I was going to say, I could take us right into a game here.
All right, let's hear it.
And actually, we just found out we got a bunch of people on TikTok watching.
Hi.
So, like, I guess
Tick.
that'll be a new thing.
Yeah, so there you go. Find us on TikTok, I guess.
All right. So, I heard this Would You Rather somewhere, and I thought it was a good one.
Is it better than my favorite one?
No, it's not as good as that one's horrific.
All
right, so this one is, would you rather have to fight Mike Tyson in his prime or live with his lisp the rest of your life?
I'll fight him once.
No, for 60 seconds. Mike Tyson, 60 seconds.
I'm not going to last 60 seconds. I can't last 60 seconds with a woman. I'm not going to last it with Mike Tyson.
That still counts. It's still a fight. I'd be worried I'd take the fight and I'd end up with the lisp.
I know, but wait a minute. He was incarcerated for rape. What kind of fight is it?
I don't think that'll cause a lisp. That'll cause a limp.
I want to show you why they call me Iron Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, Mike Tyson in his prime, that would be horrific.
Dude, Mike Tyson now would be horrific. I watched pictures of him.
I'd be throwing pigeons at him, left and right, just trying to distract him.
That is a pretty pigeon. No. So, yeah, no, dude, I'd fight. I don't want to lisp the rest of my life.
I want to.
I already sound like shit anyway, so. No.
If I had that lisp, I'd go fight him and hope it fixed it.
Yeah, just like, can you just hit me right here, right in the lips?
Yep. So I had a story here that, well, I told you about it earlier, but I was excited. But did you see the guy from IBM? This was so there was a guy, he worked for IBM. His name was Ian Clifford, and I thought this was a very bizarre story.
Like the big red dog.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he was an IT worker at IBM, and he apparently was on what do you call it? When you can't work because you're sick, just workman's comp.
Sick leave.
Sick leave for 15 years. Right? 15 years.
15 years?
15 years.
I need that.
I know.
Wait, I'm self-employed. Fuck.
Like this guy's got it made. But
I think that's just government benefit. I mean, what
is
that? Like unemployment? Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay, I don't even know what that is. I'm self-employed, so unemployment is just poor. All right, so here's where it gets weird. He actually sued IBM. He sued IBM, the place that's been paying his salary for 15 years, and the reason he sued them was a discrimination suit saying that they didn't adjust his salary the way for inflation, the way they adjusted others. So he wasn't working for 15 years, and he's suing them because they didn't.
How much was he getting?
Oh, I got it here. He was 54,000 pounds.
What's that in freedom?
I think, yeah. So
60K.
about 60.
What do you got? Euro math going on?
So 60,000 pounds or dollars roughly per year, and he was.
Dude, that's a fuck ton of money to sit home and like.
It gets worse. So it backfired. It backfired on him because the judge was like, not only have they been treating you fairly, but they've been treating you more than fair.
Yeah.
So he ruled that he doesn't have to pay them anymore. And then, so I got a quote here. I got a quote here.
Stupid piece
and
of
here's
shit.
the thing: is like this guy. He seems so smart. He's stupid.
He's like Icarus, man. He flew too fucking close to the sun.
So he's claiming he's been on chemo for 15 years for his family. He didn't go into it. And then this is a quote. It goes. And he just in my mind, it's Foghorn Leghorn. I don't know why, but it's I've had to use my savings to bring this to court and take out credit, which has left me financially very vulnerable. Still in quotes. My life has been curtailed. The chances of me living to 65 is highly unlikely, and legal action was my last resort since he considers himself a company man.
Okay, so I have to say this. But you're doing that accent, but it's Euro. So was this London, Texas?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And no, I one of those. I think Icarus is the perfect example of like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
you had it made.
You like, oh my God, I'd fight Mike Tyson for 60 seconds to get 15 years of IBM money. That's great, dude.
I was laughing. Like honestly, actually, I think you said it's like I thought it was like Office Space to where they probably. Clerical error didn't know he was still on the payroll.
Oh, with Milton? Yeah. Turns out you were fired 10 years ago.
He's just suing for a red stapler.
Yeah. Swing line.
Oh,
Oh man.
Okay. I can get that job.
Okay, so all right. I'm bummed because I wrote this earlier, and as because this is actually from listener C. This is a write-in, And I was like, okay, because I always talk about things getting stuck in dudes' asses all the time.
We were talking about it earlier.
Thank you.
We're talking about a mother-son story about it.
So that's what I was saying. I go, listener sees that we've been talking about doctors finding things in dudes' asses lately. And I was like, that hasn't been that in a while, right?
Yeah.
And then here we are doing it. I didn't know Jake was going to do that.
Yeah.
So, but they suggested we take a break and talk about things found inside pregnant women instead. So she sent an article where a midwife lists.
Like in the womb?
Yeah, like not in her ear.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like stuff got like in there.
Man.
Okay.
In her lady bits.
Besides baby?
Yeah.
Because once it gets pregnant, it seals up. It's like if there's a button in there, the kid's gonna have a button in him.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about the female.
So like a tree
genitalia.
like a tree next to a bike where it grows around it.
I just know that like I'm assuming inside the lady penis that there's something caught where the baby goes. So anyway,
love me a lady penis.
So she sent me an article where a midwife lists some of the most bizarre objects found inside pregnant women. Okay, this is probably my.
I hope they're like, got your nose.
Okay, this is a good one. A Kinder egg. Do you know what a Kinder egg is? Yes. A Kinder egg is okay.
What's a Kinder egg?
So it's actually, the way I understand it, they're actually illegal technically in the United States because the U.S. has this law where you can't put inedible things inside edible things, right? But over in Europe. So over in Europe, think of like a chocolate egg.
Like a stick in a corn dog?
No,
or like,
hold on.
I'm really confused.
Nah, that's a kebab.
Okay.
So but like, imagine like a Kinder egg is like, it's a chocolate egg, and then inside you bite it. Kinder means kid, child, right? In German.
Okay.
But like, but you inside is like a little toy. Okay.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
So anyway, so with that being said, a Kinder egg was found inside this pregnant woman, and apparently it was.
That's not the same tube.
It was her. Apparently, it was her boyfriend's attempt to surprise her with an engagement ring inside the Kinder egg. But I love this. He goes, his fingers were too stubby to extract it, so they had to go to the emergency room.
So she's pregnant, and he pushed a Kinder egg into her.
Yeah. I don't know if he's
why.
Surprise! Will you marry me?
Yeah.
He really tried to pop the question.
You melt my heart and my chocolate.
Yeah. Okay, so here's another one. This gets pretty intense.
He's got a bite in it. Oh, you're pregnant.
That kid's got a sweet tooth.
Oh.
Okay, nice. So anyway, this is another one. A pair of bikini bottoms.
That makes sense.
Hold on. It gets grosser.
Did she win a cheese race?
What happened? Yeah, okay. So anyway, the woman said, and I quote, "Oh, I haven't seen those in about 9 months."
Huh.
Yeah. I guess it was like a very string bikini, and they were banging out on the beach, and then I don't know if he just like packed it like wadding, like a musket or something, or
It's a perfect analogy.
Yeah, but like, dude, how does that stay in there?
I don't know. People found TV remotes under their panis.
Yeah.
You know, where you're just like, there it is.
I mean, that was listener M that wrote in about all the things found in penises. Do you remember? It was like, one was like a half-eaten sandwich. It was like, what the fuck is happening?
It's probably a great place to keep it warm.
But can I just say this?
Probably more bready.
I'm being very serious when I say this. Like, because I know that women can actually like lose limbs and shit from toxic shock.
Okay.
If with the tampon stuck in there for more than a month or two.
Sure.
Right? But 9 months of a string bikini bottom?
I'm laughing like picturing SpongeBob. Like, there's the real bikini bottom.
It was sandy because it was on a beach. Huh?
Mr. Krabs is in there.
Probably plankton, actually.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a Kinder egg.
Yeah. So anyway, here's another one. She said the plastic top of a broom was a surprise for sure.
I was trying to get the bikini. It's all the same woman.
Trying to get the Kinder egg out, like knock it loose like a hopper.
She's like a magician's assistant.
Yeah. Oh, okay. She said, okay, and on a less fun note, she said, I've also discovered lost tampons, false nails, dislodged piercings, and pen lids.
Dislodged piercing makes sense.
Dislodged piercings make sense, but like ladies, why are you putting pens in your pussies?
You need a dick, not a bic.
Hold on a sec. Take two. And so then, anyway, they found pen lids. It's like, ladies, you need a bic, not a dick. Fuck you, dick. That was my.
On a side note, could you imagine having sex with a magician? He keeps pulling shit out everywhere. Just
like the scarf out of your butt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool, man. So anyway, no,
horrific.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. So I've got a quote.
Imagine me like it's a pen, and a girl.
No, hold on. No, okay, I'm gonna go into that. So I'm just gonna read a quote.
It's William Tell's dead. So.
William Tell, like an apple?
Yeah, it was through the head. Keep going.
Oh,
yeah.
So more embarrassingly for the patients is that we very matter-of-factly pop the items into a plastic bag similar to those for liquids in the airport and hand them back to them so they can see them and decide what they would like to do with them.
Is it awful that I just picture the lady going home, putting the plastic broom top back on the broom?
Yeah, I'm tired of cutting my hand.
Yeah.
Dude, dude, the thing is that like I've heard, because I mean, dude, I'm sorry, moms, you all know this, but you shit on the table when you give birth, right? It happens. And I've seen birth out of my own curiosity, not firsthand, but like videos of it, and they'd be like the midwives or whatever, or the nurses would be like, oh, and the baby's crowning, and there's a turd, just kind of put that away. Yeah. Okay, and then it's like, what? You're gonna fucking, you're not giving like the liquids back, clear bag for shit. Be like, you drop this,
Well, like, I mean, you don't. If you find a pen in a desk, that's where it belongs.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I just think it's.
Yeah,
I think
it could be legal.
Wacky.
Be like, where's my lucky pen? So, it's been handed down to my family.
Oh yeah, it happened when you got lucky.
Yeah.
All right. A bick, not a dick.
Is that done? That's awful. That's
yeah,
awesome.
That's weird though,
awesome.
Right? God, quit putting things in yourselves.
Oh, actually, so I wanted to go into this one thing. I showed Adam this video earlier, and I could try to pull it up, but I saw they had a musician.
God, these glasses
are.
Yeah. Actually, you know what it is?
Keep them on.
Is it? Hold on. It's the like, where's my super suit?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I right? What movie is that? Incredibles? Yeah. These glasses, YouTube listener or watchers, these are real dumb. My head's too big for them too. It's like instant migraine.
They should account for the nose. They should it's like Voldemort's glasses.
Yeah, it turns out like I've had mine broken a few times, so that doesn't help.
So the video that I'll put it up for YouTube listeners, but basically I thought this was fascinating. They had an actual musician in an MRI machine, and with AI technology, they asked him, "Can you please think of a beat?" And on the video,
so he was getting his brain scan, and then AI was plugged into the
brainwaves essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, and it basically there's a very distinct, clear, rhythmic beat, and they asked him to think of the hook of the song, like the actual most intricate part of the song.
Just John Popper.
I will.
I'll bring you back.
Yeah, like I'll put it up for the listeners here, but if you look it up, you can clearly hear and see a very distinct beat coming out of this MRI machine.
That's pretty crazy.
And this is horrific news for people that don't want people to know what you're thinking. This is awful news for husbands.
You know what I'm thinking?
This will be an app pretty quick.
You know what I'm thinking, honestly, is do you remember like a few months ago, a guy had a do not resuscitate on his medical charts, and then he died in an MRI, and they were like, fuck it, just keep it going. Yeah. And they were, it was kind of like that's where they think that your life flashes before your eyes.
Yeah, they could read. It was like 30 minutes of neural activity after heart stopped, after oxygen breathing stopped.
But like, what if that totally calls you out? Like the AI is like, oh no, that he was living like when he molested those children.
Well,
like or something. It's like, oh, he was.
I mean, that's definitely the goal, and that's the goal
that's
here.
The goal?
No, it's like lie detector and stuff like. This is a scary thing, but it's just like I know right now there's more AI that can actually read dreams, and here's the thing: is people are always like, look how shitty that is. Like, what are you talking about? That's kind of the right color.
It's
it's
scary.
Like it's blurry and. How many times did you have to hear someone make fun? Like 6 months ago, people were like, yeah, AI can't draw hands. Can you draw hands? It's really hard to draw hands. I draw all day. It's impossible. Now it can draw hands. So AI is just iterations where it gets better and better. It'll be our therapist pretty soon. Hopefully, this is the thing with AI. It's like we'll probably need good AI to protect us from bad AI. We got to start being good AI parents. We can't just like lock it in the room.
Very Matrix here. So, actually, I didn't have anything on this, but I did have this as a screenshot as for a maybe thing. But I'll just read it off. It said, experts say that AI could lead to human extinction. Roughly 400 public figures from the tech industry asserted that AI could pose a risk of extinction to humans. Mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside with societal scale risks. A statement of the center, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Anyway, so OpenAI CEO, who's the guy that basically did the ChatGPT, he's among those who signed off on this. So it's like, that's kind of spooky, right? Like if you're like, okay, I created a monster and nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want Shady M chopped liver.
Like, listen, it could be an extinction, but I also think here's a more horrific future that it just won't care about us. It'll just it'll get smarter than here's the thing.
It's like the movie Her.
Yeah. It's like when we build a city and there's chimpanzees in the forest next to it, we don't go in there and make sure they understand the building. We just build it, and then if a chimp is dumb enough to try to stop us, we kill that chimp. That's all that's going to happen. Where they're just going to be building structures into space, and we're like, what's going on? And they're like, how's TikTok? And that's the extent of they're just going to leave us alone. They won't even we're not going to kill you. We're going to fix the environment around you. We'll cage you in, make sure you can't hurt each other too much. I like to think that we've tried to nuke each other a bunch of times, but aliens keep swatting it away. But we keep acting like we can nuke each other. It just keeps, we've tried to blow up North Korea 6 times, and it just keeps nope. So that's my real worry. Yeah, is that this is just a tiny zoo.
Are you going into your Joe Rogan simulation thing now?
No, I don't know. It could be a simulation. There's part of I don't think I'm going to die. I think when I'm a grandfather on the deathbed, one of my thems will hand me a headset, be like, here's a PlayStation 18, and I'll put it on. I'll put it on, and I'll be born again. It'll be the 80s, and I'm like, what happened? It's just a loop.
That's funny.
It's a loop. You just think it's, but that's a real thing. And I always think about this is, you're the only person that can experience your death. Like the great Louis C.K. joke where he's like, you don't get a last thought. Your last thought is, this is probably. Everyone else has to experience it.
All right. So let me ask you this. This is from listener H. What does Alexander the Great, explorer Ponce de Leon, and multimillionaire tech mogul Brian Johnson have in common? I thought you'd never ask.
Yeah.
So they are known.
One's alive.
They are known for searching for the fountain of youth. Okay. But Brian Johnson may have actually found it. The multimillionaire claims to have essentially found the fountain of youth in his son's circulatory system. This 45-year-old man has been...
Hollywood found this a while back. Okay, why?
Yeah. Is this your... What is that? Not the endochrome. What is that? The
adrenochrome.
Yeah. It's not that.
It says Korean baby foreskins. They just puree it, and Sandra Bullock puts it on her face.
So this 45-year-old man has been getting blood transfusions from his 17-year-old son. The blood is basically split into plasma.
I don't think you should be doing this.
What I mean, whenever but red and white blood cells, and then obviously the platelets. Go ahead.
Can a son consent? It's one of those, is it really his idea? You're living in his house,
I don't
eating
know,
his
man.
food. You're like, give me some of that blood.
I'll tell you. Honestly, I'll tell you. While we're doing this,
I'm
Tony,
gonna go fuck your mom. I need a shot.
Tony, while you're looking this up, I want you to look up Brian Johnson. And there's a video. A picture of him, and Jake should put it up for YouTube.
Okay.
There's a picture of him, his son, and Brian Johnson's old dad. They're all hugging on each other, and we'll talk about that in a second.
It's oddly.
It's real
molestish.
Yeah. So anyway. So, speaking of his dad, he is planning to have his 70-year-old father start with the blood transfusions as well.
Okay.
And I'm not sure, how comfortable I would be knowing that, my blood is actually swelling my grandpa's boner.
Well, I look at it it's one of those, if this turns out to be true, dude, I'll give my dad some blood. I'll give my parents some blood, but I'm a consenting adult.
All 3 of them?
Yeah.
All right, bring it up for Jake.
What's that? Wow, they're fucking touching each other and hugging. They're all wearing wife beaters. Where's the mom? This is gross.
She's getting beat. So,
dude, that grandpa is that's very Joe Biden-y.
I'm gonna tell you right, dude,
it looks like Fire in the Sky alien.
That picture, Jake. Honestly, you need to put it up for YouTube because if we had to see it, everybody else has to see it.
They're sharing blood. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. But I'll tell you, if my dad fucking shakes my hand longer than 2 seconds, I'm like, no.
Well, and so that's what I mean. So where it's if that works.
Oh, is that for the TikTok?
Yeah,
people?
for TikTok. If
make you suffer.
No, I will say if that works, if that's true, I'll give a bunch of blood to my dad. But the thing is, I don't think my 17-year-old son should be allowed because it's I could just, if I was a piece of shit dad, I'd be like, give me your blood. It's like if he
hold on
gets
a
to an
sec, though.
age and I turn.
Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Would you rather?
All right. This is gonna be.
Would you rather be the one to donate your blood to your dad, or find somebody else with the perfect match to donate your blood to your dad, knowing that blood is going to engorge your father's penis and fuck your mom? Hi, Molly.
Well,
Jake's mom listens. I'm sorry for this. I had to do it. I didn't like it either.
I think I would. I think. Does he need it?
Yeah, man. He needs
Well, if it's equal, here's the thing.
He needs it for vanity purposes. He's not dying. He just wants to like.
No, take the other kid's blood then.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's like if it's the same across the board, take his blood. That's a weird three-way. I don't know. So like, you know what I mean? I just don't think a 17-year-old should be like, okay, Dad, take it.
So the
kid's in class falling asleep like,
I like
my
this.
dad wanted to fuck my mom. So.
Yeah. The millionaire claims that he has the heart of a 37-year-old. Keep in mind, he's 45. The heart of a 37-year-old, the skin of a 28-year-old, and lung capacity of an 18-year-old.
So he has my heart?
Yeah.
That ain't great. I'm not sitting here like, look out, world.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here like, we got to start maintaining, buddy.
But on top of that, like, say again?
Eat those Cheerios.
Yeah.
Well, like, I think that.
How about broccoli?
I wonder how much of this. Well, no, I'll get into his routine in a second. But like, how much of this is like having enough money to like get good like moisturizer and get like afford the ability to have a good routine. For example, his strict daily routine. He claims to wake up at 5 a.m., take 24 supplements, and exercise for an hour.
He's not even living.
He's drinking.
He's not even alive.
I do this. So, but he drinks a green juice with creatine and collagen peptides. The supplements include, however, metformin, turmeric, zinc, and for brain purposes, I guess like small doses of lithium.
For what it's worth, I've heard there's a lot of science with like what is it? Lion's mane mushrooms. That's supposed to be a nerve growth thing for brains. That's a real one. But it's like that's all great, but it's creepy when it's just like, lithium for his brain, creatine, green soap, son's blood. You just sneak it in there.
No, it's like, you got to say it faster.
Should be more scientific about it. Can you not? Maybe it's the other shit doing it. Maybe you don't have to stick your son.
But I haven't heard of like using like somebody's. I've heard of like people doing like stem cells and stuff. Like you'd think that he'd have that kind of like fuck you money that he could afford stem cell.
It makes
therapy.
Sense. It makes sense, but it's creepy that he's like my son. It's one of those
just
like
he was okay. I should say
I want
this.
to flow up, be like, if you drink your own semen, like push that into you.
Do you remember like a couple years ago? I think we talked about a guy who was injecting his own cum into his bloodstream, which is a nightmare. Sorry. Anyway, so I can't
It's
remember.
An elegant way to fuck yourself.
So anyway,
the sperm's like, where are we?
But he was doing all these like tests on like because he was actually having strangers. He was getting blood from strangers before this. He didn't like tee off like, well, son, how was practice? You know, like, and then like, were you busy later? And then, but I guess now he's obviously moved to his son. But I feel like honestly, like a stem cell thing would be less invasive to his kid. Like, I don't really get it. So
what it kind of reminds me of? Do you remember? I think it was a senator from Montana was injecting himself with silver because he feared the apocalypse, and he turned blue. It's a real thing where it's like,
oh, he wasn't injecting. I think he was rubbing. I don't know if he was a senator, but that guy that
I thought he was. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Maybe somebody else did, but like it's like some sort of like silver whatever extract, but like you rub it in it.
Well, because I don't know why I know, but
the guy
I know
Papa Smurf.
I know.
I'm thinking of.
I know silver. Silver basically is antimicrobial. Well, silver bacteria will die on it, and actually, there's precedents in the past where rich people used to think, "Oh, God likes us better. We don't get as sick." It's because they had silver doorknobs, they had silverware, stuff like that. And so basically, he was trying to make himself like live forever the same, and he's ended up fucking blue, and I'm like, ha ha.
No, he looked like if it's the one I'm thinking of, he looked like Papa Smurf because he had a full-on white beard too and like blue skin.
And why do you want to live that long? I watched The Green Mile. You saw what happened.
No, like but
imagine, live with your creepy dad hugging you, like, ugh.
Well, I'm just saying, like, imagine that 17-year-old like trying to explain his track marks in his arm away, like, well, my dad wanted to be more fuckable, so I like.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know. I think it's creepy. I think it's
weird.
I think it's a weird form of like incestuous cannibalism.
I don't know, but
Like,
honestly,
it's
that
like-
picture is not doing them any favors.
Yeah, if they were all high-fiving like on a boat having
Yeah.
fun, but they're all
do like a Whoa Bundy, like 1, 2,
Yeah.
Whoa Bundy.
yeah, they're picking mom up on a beach. It's like it's healthy, but that was like they hired
Yeah.
a photographer that probably felt
like-
creeped out.
Yeah, they're like, and you guys are how related?
Yeah, they're like, we got the new wife beaters, and they put them on. Like, anyways, I got a catfish. Should we go right into a catfish?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Actually, for I guess TikTok listeners who don't know this, a catfish is a game where basically it's going to be 2 lies and a truth. It's an old game Adam thought of when I basically found a couple of great articles that turned out to be bullshit, and he threw it back in my face in a very fun way.
So much fake news out there.
Yeah, apparently.
Got to suss out everything.
So basically, you're going to hear 3 headlines, one of which is true, and feel free to play along.
And honestly, like if you're right now viewing with TikTok, feel free to like comment and tell us your answers.
All right, so number 1, disgruntled man shoots roommate after he eats the last Hot Pocket.
I mean,
It's good.
I'm not saying he's wrong, but
It's a
I
good
get
fucking
it.
reason. All right, number 2, butter knife attack ensues at restaurant after customer takes the last piece of key lime pie.
Okay.
All right, number 3, judge adds 6 months to sentence after defendant attempts to snatch judge's wig.
Was it? I mean, obviously this is in across the pond, then, right?
Well, I mean,
Snatching the wigs. I mean,
there's judges fighting baldness over here too. Too many Red Bulls.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of white curly wigs. Like,
Yeah.
like
They do
the
still wear
pompadour.
those. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Don't they
would-
wear those?
Yeah, I would try to grab it too.
Okay. I want it to be Hot Pocket. You going 1?
One?
You go 1?
I'll go 3.
3.
All right. I'm going 1 because I want it to be 1.
Okay.
But wait, read number 2 again.
Butter knife attack ensues.
Okay, I'm sorry. Read all of them again.
Okay, disgruntled man shoots roommate after he eats last Hot Pocket. Number 2, butter knife attack ensues at restaurant after customer takes the last piece of key lime pie. Number 3, judge adds 6 months to sentence after defendant attempts to snatch judge's wig.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. The theme here is like, don't take what's not yours, right?
Yep.
So, with that being said, I mean, like wig snatch is pretty funny. Key lime pie is not that great, but I would fuck somebody up if they took a Hot Pocket and I had like 3 whiskeys in me, and I was like, dude, all of the delivery places are closed. It's just for a piece of bread.
Or like you weaved your own rope
like,
on this
he
one.
Shot him.
Yeah.
That headline reads like a Chicago cook got home from a long night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make his Hot Pockets, and the roommate ate the last one. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and now that is not an isolated incident. That is like strike 10, right?
That's a commercial, I think.
yeah. For Hot Pockets.
Yeah, that or Butterfingers.
Not going anywhere for a while.
Don't lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going number 1.
Number 1. All right. So, and I'll put it up for the YouTube listeners, but the man has the most pleasant smile in his mugshot. A Louisville man is facing assault charges after shooting his roommate in the ass.
Hey, in the butt.
And this is a quote, in the ass, which means like this was payback.
That's even better.
Yeah. During a fight about eating the last Hot Pocket.
Yeah.
This is why, like, if you cohabitate with someone, this is why, like, don't mix your food. You know what I mean? Fucking put your name on it. Okay, so Clifton Williams got angry and began throwing tiles, which talks about the state of the
Tiles.
I imagine ceramic tiles. I don't know if they're in the middle of mid-renovation. Ceramic. It was a long day of renovating. That was my Hot
Throws
Pocket.
a tile, honestly.
Throwing at his roommate after he apparently ate the last Hot Pocket. And basically, while the other
my
roommate
God.
was trying to leave, as the fight escalated, he threw one right into the butt cheek. So, Hot Pocket.
Yeah,
So-
right into his pop pocket.
Yeah, so good job, good job.
All right, yeah, cool, man. Okay, so, all right, so do you have any more articles?
And nope, that's
Okay, I got one more. So let me ask you this, Jake. What is the oddest refund request you've ever heard of or done?
oddest
Refund request.
personally or refund?
Yeah, or just heard of one. Because I mean, I personally, I have a really hard time returning things because I just feel weird. You know, it's just like or I'll say I'm gonna do it and then I won't do it, and it's like I might get store credit because it's been 2 months after when I should have done it. You know,
Sure. I can't really think of a good example.
and I just have to throw it in a bin.
Yeah, I guess maybe someone buys a car, takes it back the next day, something like that. Because I would imagine someone's like, you shouldn't have just bought something without consulting me. That's probably an odd refund request.
But that's something you've done.
No, that's something I've done.
Oh, okay. So anyway, a wedding photographer is dealing with a refund request from a bride, and I should that's a I should say former bride. The reason being is because this woman hired the photographer 4 years earlier to take pictures of her wedding.
Okay.
And now she sent the photographer a message. She said, "Well, I'm now divorced, and those pictures of my ex and my husband and I don't need them anymore."
So she got the pictures.
She got the pictures.
Okay, I thought this was like she hadn't got the pictures yet or something like that.
Like,
that would make sense.
4 years, I'd be like, get fucked after the first year. So anyway, so she messaged the photographer and said, "I'm now divorced."
Does she work for IBM? So, like, how dumb is she? Like,
yeah. Dude, she said, I'm not divorced, and those pics of my ex-husband and I don't want them anymore. She said, "You did a wonderful job on them, but they went to waste as we are now divorced. I will need a refund of the amount we paid because we don't need them anymore."
She made her own bed because she said you did a wonderful job on them. Take that to court. That's dismissed instantly. But it's interesting just what do you think is going to happen next?
It gets better.
Okay.
So she told the photographer that the contract did not state that he had a no refund policy, which entitles her to a refund.
The photographer's sale is until death do you part. It's like, what?
That would be funny. Yeah. He told her, he goes, "Listen, I have already delivered you the services and the pictures. I can't refund you because I can't untake the pictures. Take care now." Right. So then that obviously, then. That did not help.
Can't imagine why you got divorced.
You wrecked my joke because I was like, okay, tell me why you're getting divorced without telling me you got divorced.
Exactly.
Like if you're the kind of wacky fucking bitch to do that kind of wacky shit, right? 4 years later, Anyway, so she now told him that she is forwarding the text conversation because this is all through text.
Sure.
She's forwarding the text conversation to a lawyer. He said,
ha 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 ha.
Yeah, "I'd like to remain professional with you and just reassure you that you will not be getting a refund," he wrote. "It's bad enough you want a refund 4 years later. It's unfortunate and it's unfortunately embarrassing on your part." The former client replied a day later saying that she let her oh my God, what is happening? Anyway, she said, "We'd let our lawyers deal with it, but she would be she wants at least 70% of her money refunded so she can move on and heal from everything."
Dude, if she has a 3-year-old, so I can be like, "Timmy, go put a condom on." Like, what are you doing?
Like pinch the tip and roll over your head.
Yeah.
Dude, that's kind of
it's like Back to the Future, like out of the Polaroid.
It's like a late-term abortion if you roll over the head and they just... Is that too dark?
Yeah.
Is that too dark?
I guess.
All right.
No, not too dark.
Didn't say
not
that.
at all.
Jake said that.
He did.
Anyway, so the photographer replied to the inquiries claiming that the lawyer did call him, and the legal representative didn't really seem too serious about the case and laughed when they discussed the details. And he said, "I'm now adjusting the contract to say no refunds because wow."
That's stupid, but I mean that would be like someone being like, "Hi, I'd like to return this tattoo."
That's okay. And so for TikTok,
Get the
for
shop
new
back.
listeners or like for people on TikTok right now, Jake and I, we've had a tattoo shop for just over 17 years. And actually, I was hoping you were going to say something like that. Like,
I would love this to happen.
Yeah, like I'd be like, I'm actually the refund guy. I have a belt sander.
Yeah.
Please, I've been begging.
Yeah.
I've been waiting 17 years for this.
We should have like a curtain with like dealer's choice. Would you like the cheese grater or the machete?
Yeah.
Like
just me naked with both of those items. Like, like I'm the cheese grater.
Again, amazing that the marriage fell apart.
Well, I'm saying like just the balls that takes.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. Like what I'm getting at is, and oh man, it's probably boring, but like I literally had to return like 2 4x4s to Home Depot, and I felt weird about it.
Yeah,
I only had them for a week. I didn't use them. And I was like,
it's all cut up and sawdust.
Yeah, no, but that would be funny. Like that. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Well, Home Depot's gonna be talking to you about that.
Not in June.
Not in June. They're straightening them. So, anyways, but like they.
Yeah, don't buy lumber from Home Depot in June.
Yeah,
the advertising's going
like,
nuts.
Hold on, does this say "Yes, Queen"? like
it's beautiful.
Yeah, like Stunning and brave. So like, but like I don't know. Like I felt it was like a week or two later, and I just felt weird. Like I'm like, aren't they Ulysses? And she's like, was there anything wrong? I'm like, no, they're great. I just don't need them. You know, I'm like, and then I'm like, well, I could take them back if you want. You know, it just felt weird doing it.
I'll hold on to him. If you sell them, let me know. I'll bring them to the guy.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know. So it's like the balls that it takes to like to do like imagine like. Actually, and I'd like the DJ to play all the records backwards to unplay them, please.
We're gonna you better give those gifts back.
Well,
wrap that toaster up. You know,
no, that's a great idea. Like, I bet she didn't give back all the money, right?
No. Well, that's a hell of a way to end it. I think. Let's see. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, man, I got a catfish.
Oh, okay. Let's do the catfish.
We're gonna end on a catfish. All right, so same rules apply. 2 lies and a truth here, and see if you can guess the theme.
Okay.
It's pretty on the nose. That's not a pun. So, number 1, teen hospitalized after inject.
It's like these glasses on the nose.
Can I tell you? You don't even realize how perfect these glasses are. Because it's gonna go great. You want to look at Tony? He's taking photos. Right.
It's a horrible design.
So number 1, it hurts the bridge of the nose.
Yeah.
So number 1. Teen hospitalized after injecting himself with mercury in an attempt to become X-Men hero. Number 2, teen hospitalized after inhaling toxic fumes in her science class, driven by hopes of becoming Marvel's Incredible Hulk. Number 3, teen hospitalized after homemade web shooter fails to hold her weight. DIY Spider-Girl's arm cast sports superhero theme.
All right, so the theme is the Spider-Man. You know, trying to get superpowers.
Yeah.
Superpowers.
Teenagers doing dipshitty things.
Okay.
3, 2.
Okay, so what was the second one? It was
1, 3, 2.
Huffing fumes.
Okay, I'll read them again. So, number 1, teen hospitalized after injecting himself with mercury in an attempt to become X-Men hero. Number 2, teen hospitalized after inhaling toxic fumes in her science class, driven by hopes of becoming Marvel's Incredible Hulk. Number 3, teen hospitalized after a homemade web shooter fails to hold her weight. DIY Spider-Girl's arm cast sports superhero theme.
So I want number 3. We got number 3, number 2. I'm going to go oddball here because isn't Mercury... No, it's Quicksilver, which is another name for Mercury, which is an X-Men hero.
Is it X-Men?
Yeah, because Quicksilver is apparently Magneto's...
Which one is DC? Which one's the oh no, is it Flash that's DC that's the fastest?
Yeah. But the Quicksilver, which is another name for Mercury. So I think that's a pretty clever. So if you made that up, that's very clever. So I'm going to go with the Mercury one.
Okay.
For the first one.
All right. So a teenage I'm going to milk it. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna milk it just like Robert De Niro's wife or girlfriend. Yeah. Call back,
dude. That's an anchor baby, or that's a will baby.
It really is. Yeah.
Okay, she's like web slinging onto that will.
All right. So, a teenage boy deliberately injected mercury into his body to become.
That's like the worst thing that we should bring back your physician's guidebook. That's my favorite book. And everything in the 1800s.
What Jake's talking about is I have a physician's guidebook from like 1890.
It's a horrific. Yeah. Every chapter is horror. You get earache,
most
mercury.
of them like, ladies, I'm sorry. Hysteria.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Hysteria.
Okay,
the umbrella term.
So this didn't go well for him.
So a teenage boy deliberately injected mercury into his body because he wanted to become a real-life Marvel superhero. The report states the unnamed child was reportedly not poisoned after attempting to give himself superpowers. Medics say he used the substance from a thermometer and injected into his arm 3 times.
Ironically, he developed a fever.
I'm Cancer Boy. So anyway, the boy said he was inspired by the Marvel character Mercury from the X-Men comics franchise. The report read, We report a case of a 15-year-old child inspired by a movie who deliberately self-injected mercury subcutaneously into his forearm that led to the formation of non-healing ulcers. Interestingly, he had a past history of multiple bites by spiders to simulate Spider-Man.
If anyone's gonna get there, it's this kid.
He's trying.
Yeah, like I don't have a problem with this.
He's trying. I give it to him, So anyway,
the only thing he's gonna get is a wish.
Oh, is that a Make-A-Wish joke? I like it. God damn it, that was good. All right, nicely done. So anyway, the only things he's gonna get is a wish. Piece of shit. Anyway, so the surgical procedure was thereby performed to treat the ulcer and reduce the blood and urinary levels of mercury. Surprisingly, he had no other psychiatric problems and had a normal IQ. So, thank you. I was like, is this a dum-dum? Is this a dum-dum?
There's lots of 15-year-olds know how to use a syringe. Most of them ain't trying to power up, you know.
That was like, it was intravenous and then smoking. And then I'm gonna jump off the fucking roof with a fucking towel.
This kid.
This is like,
I did that. I jumped out of the tree with a trash bag. Every kid does the umbrella thing.
We all did the bed sheet.
Yeah, every one of us was like, this probably ain't gonna work, and we went anyways.
I know I did the foot scoot off the shimmy.
Yeah.
We'll try the porch first.
I was like, well, the army men survived. You know. Just me too.
So anyway, so that's it.
Yeah, it's episode 116. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. My name is Jake Mercury Bussy. I'm taking it. It's not a bad idea. He's having fun. I don't know.
Dude, I love that. I love that he had a bunch of spider bites too.
I'll take that creative kid. Like, he's gonna do something. He'll do something fun if he makes it.
Sounds like a school shooter. I'm Adam
Sounds
Riley.
like Steve-O.
Sounds like Steve-O? Yeah. All right. I'm Adam Riley. This has been episode 116. So thank you very much. Oh, and also stay tuned because we have a historical episode.
Oh, yeah.
Renee's coming back. And for Pride Month, we're going to be talking about lesbian pirates. So that's going to be pretty. And I think they're topless. Not kidding. Pretty excited.
Going down on me.
Be boned up.
So.
Yarr. Later, boners.
Walk the skank.
You met me at a very strange time in my life. With your feet on the air, your head on the
Can't read my notes.
All right, say bye to TikTok, Adam.
Bye, TikTok.
have you heard the pirate joke though? It's like, what's a pirate's favorite letter?
Arr.
No.
It would be the sea.
Yeah.